Hi, my name is attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA in Orlando, Orange County-based Social Security disability law firm. But we do, Florida, Georgia, we're even doing other states now too because we've grown and grown. Let's go ahead and talk. The first video of the big series of videos that we're going to be doing, I think, is the most important. It's on scams that are occurring in the Social Security disability environment. In fact, they've become so rampant and disgusting that the Social Security Administration has put out there on their own envelopes the following, which I will read to you. Scam alert. Scammers are pretending to be government employees. They may threaten you and may demand immediate payment to avoid arrest or other legal action. Do not be fooled. If you receive a suspicious call, hang up. Do not give them money or personal information. Report the scam at oig.ssa.gov. That looks like this right here. Just a simple thing. You can always pop it into Google. The other thing that you can pop into Google is oig/ssa.gov/report. And that'll get you right to the specific page where you can report the conduct. Now let me tell you how this works, because they've been doing it to my claimants, so it's been popping up and becoming a bigger issue as it goes forward. What will happen is you'll receive a phone call, and it will usually be from an 800 phone number or some sort of blocked phone number. And that 800 or blocked phone number will have somebody that sounds really official. They won't have any issue with English. They'll sound on point. And they'll start talking to you about some meeting that you missed, or some appointment that you had, or that they can go ahead and clear it up right now. And the one that we caught the most recent doing that was disability experts. And basically, so we have the claimant, creating a statement of claimant that basically explains what happens. And they all have these like disability and then some, name to make it seem like, real law firms, like Disability Resolution is my law firm. So there's disability championships, disability champions, disability this or that. There's all these names that are like, whoa, disability professionals, disability ultimates, disability whatever. There are these like rah names. So when you get these phone calls, and I might have named a couple in there that are, real ones or fake ones. I don't know. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is, there's a bug. The bottom line is that you need to be aware that they should be able to tell you what company they work for, what is their full name, and what the call is about. And obviously you should be able to ask them, do they work for the federal government? Even DDS, a state-based agency, works for the federal government. The other problem with it is that a lot of them are just going to lie to you. They're just going to tell you, well, we work for such and such agency within the federal government, and then they'll just make up some acronym, and there you go. So be aware that the Social Security Administration is never going to ask you for identifying, information. The only thing I ever ask from people is what's the last four, which my claimants know as the last four of the social, right? Because if I have the last four of the social, I plug it into my vault system, boop, pops up the claimant, and then I can read about the file and tell them what's going on with it. If they're asking you for more than the last four, or if they're asking you for specific details about something, then there's very likely to be a problem. The other thing too is that if you guys hire a group that has lots and 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 lots of people working for it, you're never gonna really know who's your point person unless they have a specific attorney that's representing you that you can get a hold of, which most of you can't. So the problem there is you don't actually get to know who the person is that you're interacting with while trying to get the most important thing that's in your adult life. That they're going to be doing that. However, these scammers, the new breed, the reason they had to send this out, are stealing social security numbers, birthdays, addresses, phone numbers. They're even stealing the tone of your voice. So I want to tell you about that technology. So a lot of you guys saw the deep state videos where they would go ahead and show somebody talking, and basically it's not really the person talking, it's just they use 3D animation based qualities in video to go ahead and make it seem like that person is actually talking. Even the iPhone has a feature like that now where a cartoon can talk as if it were you because it maps your face. A lot of the technology came from movies like Matrix, a lot of the technology came from movies like Avatar, stuff like that. So what that means is that they can pretty much fake things at a new, higher level. And that's not just from the information that they're getting from you, that's what they're doing thereafter when they open up a bunch of accounts in your names. And that's not just regular accounts, that could also be VA-based accounts, like military accounts. So once they have this information, we're talking about credit cards, we're talking about bank cards, we're talking about filing for other governmental programs that exist, we're talking about putting earnings in your name that which you didn't have to go ahead and have taxes apportioned to you, and then trying to get the benefits back out of the IRS, all of those sorts of things. So I want to make you aware about this giant scam problem that's going on. It's not good, it's horrific, and basically my claimants are getting calls from people and they're saying, well, you missed an appointment, you should have taken care of this, and you owe this much as an overpayment, and you have to pay us $500, $600, whatever dollars. It's a scary thing, and it doesn't always have to be a higher amount. It could be like $100, $200, $50, $10, whatever. It can be a small amount. So just kind of keep that in mind as you go through this process, that not everybody you interact with is an actual law firm, even if they claim they are, is an actual representative, even if they claim they are, is an actual real company, even if they claim they are, is a real, here's the big thing too, they're great at building websites. Like my website has to be updated and there's stuff on it that I've got to do, I just haven't had a chance. But they're great at building websites that look modern and creative and amazing, and they just point you to, and they're like, this is what we do, and do. But the reality is the websites are pretty much like those advertisements that are in, essentially the airport, where it's like, we integrate, organize, moralize, all of these company thingies, and you should hire us to do this. And you're sitting there going, what are they selling? I think it's a service. I'm not really sure what they're selling. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I hope you guys don't get scammed by these guys. I hope that you think a little bit more about what you're requesting of them. Remember, when they call you and say, well, do you have proof of who you are? They have the information. They have the information. And they're not going to ask you for your complete social security number. Because if somebody has that, they can, so long as somebody has a letter or an envelope at the solid waste dump that you threw out, they can take that, get your name and get your address and get something that happened, right, with a card, some other identifying numbers. And then from there, if they've got a social, boom, they can open up a credit card, they can get a small business loan, they can do whatever they want. So just be aware this stuff is going on, and I don't want you guys to fall prey, because what's so sad is that they screw over the people who have already had life dump all over them, right? I mean, it's like this guy who, has had just everything go wrong, can't work anymore, disabled individual, and now they're going to dump all over him and steal his identity. And I understand. I know it makes me look like an idiot saying that, oh, it's stupid of you to expect that they should have a moral standard, to not hurt those individuals who have been really put upon by society. But the other side of the coin is, like, at some point, well, the court system does. You better believe it. When the court system looks at these things, if there's something that goes to court, somebody was frauded on something, oof. If somebody's gone through far worse or some situation, they'll take that into account. This is not a totally equal playing field. If somebody's been really harmed throughout their life or faced untraditional harms or traditional harms in America, then they'll take that into consideration when going against these people. Do they usually catch these people? No. That's the sad thing. And the thing is, too, there's supposed to be these identifying factors with ICANN, like the website company, and all these other things when setting this stuff up, but they just fake it all. That's the problem with it, So anyways, please don't get scammed by these idiots that are out there. They're out there in force, and they're screwing people over left and right, and I don't want you to get hurt by this, because ultimately it would be better for everybody to be happy in America as opposed to fighting this stuff. And the sad part is that we just don't have the tools as a nation to fight these scammers at a really high level. You could say that about a lot of industries. You could say that about the narcotics industry. You could say that about, violence, on a very large level. You could say that about a lot of things. But the reality is, we should have been on top of the internet more, and how the internet can be used to abuse people. But, then you lose freedom. So it's one of those, what are you going to do? So anyways, my name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA in Orlando, Orange County, Social Security Disability Law Firm. That video was all quick. I'll catch you a little bit later, and hopefully it'll be a bit more organized for the next video. All right. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.